Warning, this podcast may contain bad language and tales that some listeners may find offensive.
So are we talking literal tales from animals or stories?
What's your most offensive animal tale?
I would say kangaroo.
Go on.
I don't know, they just look like arseholes. And I've heard on Good Folly that kangaroos just jump in front of cars for like no reason.
What to do with the tail?
Because I think by proxy the entire animal is an arsehole, including the tail.
No need for that. I think the worst tails are in Scorpios. Sting in the tail.
Did you say Scorpios?
Yeah.
Are you happy with that, are you?
Yep.
Welcome to Seesaw Podcast.
With your hosts, T, Cleaves and Selina.
Every week bringing some much needed balance and humour to brighten up what can sometimes be a dark, disabled world.
Welcome back to Seesaw Podcast, the show which is the mispronunciation of a commonly known animal of podcasts. This week we have, it doesn't matter, it made more sense than what you said at the beginning.
So you called it a blangaroo.
This week we have Tales from the Crips coming back at you. It has been a hot minute since we've done that. But before then, let's go over what we're wearing and what we're up to. So I will start. I'm not wearing a hat because my head was too sweaty.
Gross.
But I wear a white t-shirt, blue shorts, and a black gilet, which I just instinctively put on for some reason to feel middle class, I guess.
Middle class?
Yeah.
Don't people in like lower class supermarkets wear those?
I don't go to many lower class
I feel
supermarkets.
like, you know, like Savers or a,
They totally
or a
do.
Wilco or something like that. I feel like
Trolley
they'd have
pushers.
a genie.
And if you haven't guessed, this is the T Gets a Load of Shit episode once again.
It's fine, T. Every day helps.
Okay, Selina, what pajamas are you rocking?
I am in my Aladdin pajamas again. And if people want to know what our 3 wishes were if we had a genie, go back to the ketchup episode.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I just hope that you wash them.
They're fresh.
Use one of the wishes to have constantly washed pajamas.
Well, that would have been a good way.
No, it absolutely wouldn't have been, but it would have still been better than your ones. Cleaves, what are you rocking today?
Kel Surprise, I'm wearing blue jeans and I've got a white t-shirt on with like a little E logo for the Entities logo, and it's made up of other little logos and they're sort of like half falling out of the original logo. And I'm wearing a hat to make up for your lack of hat. And it's a sort of navy blue Dead Kennedys hat, which is a punk band from the 80s.
I have a hat story.
Go on.
So, I think it might have been edited out, but Sam did mention in the last podcast that my fellow lioness, Sam, that is, that she'd have a surprise for everybody, for all the players. And we were on camp. Well, games have already happened now. I'm sure we'll find out how England did on the next week's podcast. But anyway.
You want to record 2 bits and I'll just keep the good one? Yay, we won! It was good, but we tried our best.
No.
Okay,
Anyway.
fine. Sorry.
Hat story. Sam gave all of the lionesses a present wrapped up very nicely with a braille label with my name on. And I opened it to find a bucket hat with the England flag on it. So I now own a hat.
Was the whole thing an England flag, or was it like a little England flag on the front?
Just a little England flag on the front. I think the hat's blue.
I expect to see you wearing that next time we meet up.
Maybe.
That always means no.
You should all wear them during the matches.
We're not allowed because it's not official England kit.
Could you have it as part of your headwear, your eyeglasses, which aren't, like you can have whatever you want, and you have it just like stuck onto those?
What, the whole hat?
Yeah.
Onto the shades?
Yeah. It's like a sort of flap that goes over, but it's just a hat, you know what I mean? Somehow like super glue the front of it, like the front of the bucket part, and then, just sort of flip it on as you put your shades on.
I'll have a go, but I don't think it's going to work.
I don't think you're going to do it, frankly.
For the next tournament, I think everyone should just give that a little bash.
Okay, thanks for the advice. Appreciate it.
Okay, so let's hit some quick blind news, shall we?
Do. I wonder if this quick blind news is even going to be out in this episode, or is it going to be stored up for a short stories episode?
How dare you?
Anyway.
Okay, shall we move on then?
Tales from the Crips, or Tales of the Crips. What's it called?
Tales from the Crips.
That's the first time you've ever
Tales.
done one.
Yeah, this is my first Tales from the Crips. What does that even mean? I was in Crips, crippled people. Is that what it means? I mean, that's what you're implying. You guys invented this.
The blame quickly shifted.
Welcome to Tales from the Crips.
Stories, scrapes, and disabled fails.
Okay, so seeing as this is the debut episode for Selina on Tales from the Crips, we are going to heavily rely on her for most of the content.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was just going to say, because you haven't got any left.
I have plenty, they're just not interesting.
I don't know if mine are, but
Yeah.
I can confirm that 2 of my stories feature you. So,
Oh, I'm already interested.
Okay.
He's already disheartened. Yes, even better.
I hope they're nice.
well, they include me as well, so.
Okay. Right.
He's back to indifferent.
Right. Okay.
Right, so I've thought back, because I know you guys like to use RNC stories, place where we all met. So my first story, hopefully I've got the idea of Tales from the Crips. Basically, we tell an embarrassing story, right?
Sure.
Or a
It doesn't
silly
have to be
story.
embarrassing, it just has to be a story.
It's ideal,
It
though.
is.
Funny / embarrassing / should have put this out on Twitter to get people's comments.
Mm. So, like, one of the extracurricular activities that we used to get up to at college, it'd be like a group of us would go to Subway or something like that. Or what was that chicken place called?
KFC.
But anyway, no, Hereford's own kind of chicken place.
Maryland chicken? Chicks and hoes?
No,
Okay.
Hereford chicken.
We'll move on. We'll move on. I don't care what chicken it is.
I think this might have been a Subway trip anyway. So we'd all gone to Subway. I believe it must have been light on the way down. I don't remember taking my cane. Pretty sure that T guided me there. I don't know,
Oh,
allocated guide. And then on the way back, it was dark. And I didn't have a cane, but T brought his cane because he knows he's night blind. So, all prepared. For some reason, I mean, there were lots of people there. So I'm sure there were other people available to guide me. But I was like, no. I'll stick with T. He'll be all right. And I don't remember you objecting. To say, no, don't stay with me because it's not going to end well. So we're walking back to college. Belly's full of Subway. And I trip off the curb, twist my ankle, and then I had to be carried back to the halls by someone else. So basically, T tripped me off the curb because he's blind at night.
Wow, dick move.
Yeah.
So he didn't even carry you back either?
No,
Who carried you
someone
back?
else.
You don't have to use
Ah.
real names. You can make up names for them. For example, Horace.
It might have been the Welsh dragon.
Wow. You're bigging him up with that nickname.
Yeah, but the Welsh dragon was slayed by St. George. I'm pretty sure that none of that's true.
I was going to say, none of that's true. Well, if I didn't apologise then, which I'm pretty sure I did, I apologise for twisting your ankle, Selina. But as you pointed out, there were people there, and if you were carried by the Welsh dragon, he had pretty good eyesight. He could have been doing that.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I didn't have my own cane, to be honest. But you know.
Yeah.
I piggybacked someone back once from, like they used to have those houses next to college.
Yeah.
And I for some reason, this was also dark, so I don't know why I'm giving someone a piggyback. And then I tripped over and dropped both of us. Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah,
More of this is coming back to me now that the more I drink. Maybe this is the thing. I need to get back into the same state I was back. I was definitely drunk. Yeah, it was up for debate at that point. It's how I spent most of my college years.
Wow.
Anyway, Selina, what else you got for me?
So, in other tea stories from college,
I
well,
like
this
how
isn't.
Selena's got stories, but they're all involving you.
I suppose this is the tea special, I guess.
Well, actually, this one doesn't really involve you. It's my own stupidity, but it involves your house that you lived in, so it's kind of your fault.
Great.
So-
Horace was also there, I'd imagine.
Yes,
But I don't think I was going to visit Horace. I think I was going to
With
go
anyone?
and see tea. For Horace, I like
Sorry,
the guy.
that was cruel.
I danced with him in play.
Oh God, yeah. Remember play? I
Mm.
went there once. It was not for me.
Anyway, T moved out of Armitage, so I didn't have him there anymore. I couldn't just walk across the broken
like me
door
to?
that we kept breaking in between our two sides of that top floor Armitage.
Yeah.
That various
This already
people
sounds like a
broke.
sad story, so I'm just going to put some sad piano music underneath. T leaves Armitage. Selena's really lonely without him. Go on.
So, that you get mobility training at RNC. Great. Learnt the route to T's house. Seemed quite straightforward. It's probably not even a 10-minute walk from college. So it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Went off one day to the house. I think you had like a plastic bag hanging outside, like on your gate or something, so you knew which one it was
Real
as well.
classy.
Yeah,
T.
it was a
Sofa
co-op.
in the yard.
It was a co-op plastic bag that I tied to the gate, so that I just knew behind that.
Do you know what, right? Your house, if you can picture this, was actually set back from the road a little bit, with like a little bit of a green in front of it. But all the lights were next to the road, so the bit that was set back after the green, like the green area, had fuck all eyes on it.
Yep.
It must have. I understand why you did it, because it must have been genuinely quite difficult to find that house.
Yeah, and those were like really thick trees as well. Like there was like no light getting through at all from those lights. But Selina, continue.
I located the co-op plastic bag and found my way into T's house, no problem. Had a nice night. I think quite a lot of people were over, but me being me and like wanting to get back into my pajamas, I left before everyone else, and no one wanted to walk back to college at that time. But it was late. It was dark.
Were you a square?
Am I a square?
Well,
I'm even human shaped. What the hell's a square?
have you? I didn't leave that talk. Come on. You know, like a nerd. People that leave early and they're like studying and shit like that. Do you know what's really weird? I speak to you now, and I know this is a bit of a tangent, but we never really spoke all that much at college, I don't think.
No, I was too scared to talk to you.
And
I thought you were too cool.
I'm actually coming to my house.
Dying out with people with co-op bags on.
I hang out with Cleaves in Armitage. You're at your Tesco job,
I was
probably
going to say, I was
in
probably
Gillette.
at work, yeah. If anything, I was a square. I had no fucking life. I was working while everyone else was having fun. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
So I left T's house, also Horace's house, to walk back to college. Went on my merry way. And then I don't know at what point I realised that maybe I should have been back at college by now. But I wasn't. And back in the day, we did not have like iPhones. You couldn't just like bring up Google Maps to see where you were. I got out my Nokia with buttons and called. I don't know who I called. Whoever was at the house, to basically say, I'm lost. I don't know where I am. And obviously, yeah, that wasn't much help. So then I got everyone out the house, quite a posse of blind people, came out searching for me. And I was on this street, and it was just a really quiet street. I must have like drifted down a side road or anything for some reason, rather than staying on the main road. And like, so I was on the phone, and you guys were on the other end of the phone, basically just shouting in quiet Hereford for me. Eventually found me. Just going,
And where were you?
Literally shouting. I don't know, just down some side road.
I thought you were saying just outside of the halls.
No, not quite. But then it was really awkward. So like, there must have been 6, 7 of my so-called friends found me. Lovely. They were friends because they did come and found me. I wasn't left, but then no one actually wanted to walk me back to college because they all still wanted to hang out. So then,
In inverted commas, apparently.
one of the RTU students, nice guy.
What's
I feel
an
like
RTU
he
student?
the older, like over 25. They were like RT. Weren't they called RTU students?
Yeah, they're just called Crips now.
I don't think you're even allowed older students at RNC anymore.
Told you they were called Crips. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Anyway, I feel like he was nominated to walk me back to college. It was just a bit sad. And I wasn't really friends with him, but it was just this awkward walk back to college. And then he had a cup of tea with one of the wardens.
Wow.
So to anyone that doesn't know, when we were at college, we had these people called wardens who there was like one per hall.
Like a prison.
Yeah, like a prison warden. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Do you know what? I never thought about that until literally right now. And they just sort of looked after the building, and I didn't get on with one particular warden.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Which one did you not get along with?
I can't remember her name. Like older, grouchy.
Let's call her Brown Eyes.
Old Brown Eyes.
Fair. Did the RTU at least help you back okay and not totally creep out on you?
No, he was nice. Like, well, silent, but guided me back.
Silent but nice.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
What I like most about that story is the search party found you and then went, nah, fuck it. You found now. Yeah. See ya. Bye. We know where you are. So off you foot.
Oh dear. Again, I don't know if I apologise for you getting lost from my house before, but I'm sorry if you got lost from my house before.
Why didn't you take her home? You're meant to be a Besley back
my
then.
house. One of the guests could have done that.
Were you drinking back then, Selina? Or are you not?
No, no, I wasn't. So no excuses. Just poor mobility skills.
No, it wasn't so much that. I just wondered why you didn't stay. And it might be because everyone else was getting drunk and it's often not fun to be around drunk people when you're not drunk.
That might have been it.
Moving on slightly then from that. Old Brown Eyes.
Yeah.
God damn. She was constantly bashing on my door for like loud music and weird smells and all sorts of shit. Which, I mean, in retrospect, I was playing my music loud and I hotboxed the bathroom. So people were getting high as fuck in there. So
very founded.
Yeah. But why not be cool about it? You know what I mean?
Just a narc.
Exactly. Be cool. And then, also, she was the one that like constantly grassed me in for, I'm going to use the invert commas, supplying alcohol to people that are under 16.
Underage.
Under 18.
Under 18,
yeah. Under 18, not under 16.
They're painted a different light if it's under 16.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, look, the point is, I bought alcohol to drink, but it's not my fault necessarily if people under the age of 18 drank it in my room.
It was for your own personal consumption. And because of your visual impairment, you can't keep tabs on what's been taken off the table.
Yeah, some of that's true.
And you know what? People used to steal stuff all the time in those halls.
They did. They were actually scumbags. Like, how do you find stuff to steal? Half of them are blind. I appreciate the fact that they're not going to notice if it goes missing, but also at the same time, how are you going to find it to steal in the first place? Be cool, people.
Yeah, I had a few things stolen, in fact, and that made me quite angry.
Didn't you have like a game or something stolen?
I had an iPod, a new iPod stolen. It's some of my sweet benefits money to get an iPod.
Wow, it really dates us this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I just left it in the common room. Like,
well, that's stupid.
It was stupid, but I don't think it was anyone in on our floor that did it. I think it was like some others from the one across the way.
Do you think it's the ones that got expelled?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it is them because they were in the building that day. I think they were off their face as well, and like they were just causing a lot of ruckus. And I think that I was moving out very shortly anyway, so I think that was the clincher of I'm not staying here anymore. And yeah, I just wanted to get away from it. All the drama. They were different times.
Very did. Do you know when you look back at it now, like how corrupt that place actually was with drugs
mate, it
and
was
alcohol?
absolutely shocking. I bet probably bi-weekly I was in the office with, I don't know, I can't remember the name of, I remember what he looked like. He was fucking little balding little prick. The head of year. It's like every other week. You're here again, right? Yeah. It's for the same reason. People were getting drunk in your room, right? You shouldn't be supplying. I didn't supply anything. Do you know what I mean? It was the same every time. It's like to the point like, oh, we're going to be doing this dance every 2 weeks. You've got nothing on me, apart from the fact that when he was like, oh, I saw you through your curtain rail out the window. I was like, go check my bathroom. It's still there, which was a mistake on my part because I said bathroom. But at the same point, I knew that I knew what I'd done, and yeah, well, I'll hold my hand up to that one. I was young and stupid.
Well, there we go. I do have a story I have been reminded of. I don't know if this is funny or can be perceived as a hate crime.
Wow. Let's hear it before we judge.
Okay, so
Racist.
was it the refectory it was called?
Yeah.
Posh word for canteen, isn't it?
Having one of their crappy meals. I was with two other gentlemen, and they were just having a discussion about just standard crap. And one of them's from like Oxford and one's from Reading. And the gentleman from Reading, it was a very fiery Albanian gentleman who didn't have the best English and would misunderstand things quite a lot. Really nice guy, but he got quite fiery. He lost his sight because of an accident in the war, like the Albanian war. So he was quite bitter about things, didn't really want to be there either. And for some strange reason, they were arguing about the distance between Oxford and Reading. And I mean, that
give or take.
Yeah. So this was the argument for some strange reason.
You didn't have Google Maps back then.
No, you did not have Google Maps back then at all.
It was tough times, wasn't it? We lived in tough times.
Anyway, it got a bit heated. And one of them, the guy from Oxford.
Do I give him a name?
No.
Okay, fine.
But let's say the gentleman from Oxford.
Let's call him Frederick.
Frederick called the Albanian gentleman from Reading a racial slur. And because...
An Albanian racial slur, or...
I don't...
Because this Albanian person wasn't black.
I can't remember what the slur was. He is not black, but it was a slur, or he perceived it as one. And what was a heated, frankly pointless argument about the distance between two cities in the UK quickly escalated to him pulling back from the table and lifting his chair to smash it over the head, until it was taken off of him by the Welsh dragon. He had to then be restrained by a couple of other people. And I remind you, this is all about the distance between two places.
At this point, it's about the racial slur, I'd imagine.
Yes, at this point, it was about the racial slur. Needs to say that bloke who did say the slur, he did get suspended for that. And a very stern warning to the Albanian gentleman about not hitting people with chairs. So it was a bit of an awkward tea, I suppose you could say.
Was it at tea time?
It was at tea time, yeah. Or dinner. Cleaves, do you have a story?
College-based or otherwise?
Otherwise or college?
I got a story for you. The company I currently work for, a while back, had a Christmas party, and we went to an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet. We ate, we drank, some old guy sang karaoke, If You Want My Body and You Think I'm Sexy.
Nice.
And it was entertaining to watch, but at the same time, I wanted neither. After doing that, me and my friend are walking into town, and we're walking by this club. It's got a line outside, and my friend says to me, "Oh, I'm just going to push you into that line, over the railings into the line." I was like, "Well, fuck that." So I push him into the railings, into a group of people. And whilst he's reeling and I'm laughing, I was smug for about half a second before I walked smack into a lamppost. Busted my nose. I let a spurt of blood down my face. And that would teach me for being such a smug prick.
Nice.
No one even told me about the blood either. We went to 2 bars after that, and then someone went, "You got a bit of blood down your face." I was like, "Oh, fucking hell, come on."
Speaking of blood in the face, shall we finish this with a story from Selina about a golf club?
Yeah, so I've been really trying to rack my brains about this. Back in Armitage Hall, RNC 2006/7. For some reason, one of the guys, trying to think of a name for him.
Darren.
It didn't look like a Darren.
Fernando,
No.
Petri.
He was a bit of a, I'd say a Ben.
Hey,
But it wasn't
a more
Ben.
exotic name.
He wasn't a Ben.
More of a
Could have been a-
Steve or a Dan.
So call him Ben.
Ben had a golf club in the common room. And I believe there were golf balls.
We'll gloss over why he had those, because I have no clue either.
I don't know
That was
why
going to be my
either.
question, yeah.
Whether there was... It was proper golf club as well, not like it was like a full-on driver.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I assume he wanted to take up golf. So he thought he'd have a bit of a practice in the common room. Swung back, only to obviously hit, we'll call Rudolph. No, not in the nose, in the head. It split his head open.
Oh, I know Rudolph.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. Great name, by the
Yeah.
way.
He went down like a sack of shit. He just dropped.
And the ironic thing is, Rudolph was actually fully sighted, and only at certain times did he actually lose his vision. So, of all the people he hit, he actually hit a sighted person who should have seen it coming.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the situation where he should have seen it coming. But
Man.
yeah, he hit him really hard.
Imagine if you got hit by a golf club. Someone's going to be pitching a fit at that.
Yeah, it didn't go down well. I believe Ben was suspended for it.
Suspended?
Yeah.
You got suspended for everything at RNC, didn't you?
Yeah. You got a week's holiday.
I never was.
No, well, you're too much of a square.
Did you even ever go home?
I went home at weekends, every weekend, like you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
A whole week there. Like, you know, the
No,
odd
I couldn't
weekend
do
that I
it.
stayed there, it was pretty
Yeah.
tragic.
Depressing.
Well, I couldn't be bothered to go home.
Yeah, you lived a long way. I lived a long way away, but yeah.
Yeah, and I did. Oh, yeah. 2.5 hours each way on the train at least. Worth it.
You?
Yep. Yeah. I think my thing was my friends back home were all at university at the time. And
No, mine. That's what made it great.
yeah, but a
I
lot
could
of
sleep on
yours,
the couch.
yeah, but a lot of yours were at university in Nottingham, whereas a lot of mine were in like Scotland and Wales and all over the place. And one of them was in prison. So
Nice.
I couldn't really see anyone if I went home. So it was
I wonder
pointless.
if old Brown Eyes was the warden.
Well, I moved out quickly, didn't I? I must have moved out after like 2 months.
Yeah.
No, in the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's caught up now.
So there are some lovely tales from the Crips. I am glad I came off as a horrible person. We saw some bloody situations and violence. There was quite a lot of violence in this Tales from the Crips.
There was some thieving as well.
So,
Do you know, people are going to think that our last 2 episodes have been really like amazing guests and inspirational content, and now we've come back with this.
We're
This
a
is
mixed bag.
true Cecil content.
We did like episodes with Gary the Smiler followed by Ketchup. We're a mixed bag, people. We do everything here.
come for the guests, stay for the bullshit.
Yeah.
If you want a bit of alliteration, come for the guests, stay for the giggles.
Ooh.
And we're closing it with alliteration again. So, until next week, keep it balanced.
Thank you for listening to Seesaw Podcast. Your feedback and comments mean a lot to us, so if you'd like to get in touch, you can do so in the following ways.
You can find us on Twitter at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast. And you can also join us at seesawpodcast.com.
Remember to like, rate, review, and share with a friend.
This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.
A story that won't go on there. Went round telling everyone that I gave him like, what the hell?